How are you feeling then? How's the squad feeling ahead of this big second leg?
Yeah, good. I said before the first game we wanted to make sure we were in the tie, and we certainly are. Arguably we could have been a couple of goals up with the chances we created, but that's a positive that we created that many chances. And we know it's a very open game. The first game was very open. We aim to make it not quite as open in terms of our defensive errors, but we're confident getting into the game. We face a big test, but one we feel confident about.
How more prepared do you think the team are, having had that one competitive game and obviously played them?
Yeah, I think obviously we've both had a look at each other now, so we know their strengths and their weaknesses. They'll done the same with us and think they can hurt us in certain areas and we're dangerous. So it's all to play for. I think the biggest thing for me is the first competitive game. It's amazing whatever you do in training, how many friendly games you can't replicate the nervous tension, the crowds, how players feel on the day. It's very, very difficult to recreate without it actually happening. So we're one game closer to that, and as I say, we're looking sharper by the day.
So sell a crowd tomorrow night. How much is that going to help the players, lift the players?
Yeah, well, if it's anything to go by, there was allegedly 200 people there, and they made a lot of noise. So if there's going to be nearly 6,000 St Mirren fans, then that's fantastic. And I believe it's, as I've repeatedly said, it's credit to the staff and players here, the coaching staff and the players here, that they've turned out in their numbers to support them, give them something to cheer about, and they're obviously enjoying what they see.
Does it feel like a special occasion, Stephen?
Yeah, it is. There's no point downplaying it. It's been nearly 40 years in the making. So we want to go and embrace it. We want to go and enjoy it, not fear it. As I say, the players have earned the right for this. They've earned the right to be in the tie. That was the important bit from the first leg. And as I say, we're going to go and play our game. We're going to get the crowd behind us and take the game to Valur.
What would it mean to you, Stephen, to progress and go through? Obviously, so much of last season was spent talking about getting a European place, and now that you've got this opportunity, how important is it that you maximise it and milk it for all it's worth? Yeah,
we've been very clear in our intentions. We didn't want it to be one round. As I say, first and foremost, we kept ourselves in the game. Potentially should have been winning. And it's now an opportunity. Both teams know who they get in the next round, so it's certainly a carrot for both teams. And it's important, I think it's important for Scottish football that everybody represents Scotland well and shows what a good standard it is. And we aim to do that tomorrow night.
And obviously we've got a sellout crowd, first European game that St Mirren are hosting for 37 years. Can you utilise that energy that you're going to get from a full stadium?
Yeah, we have to. I thought the fans were terrific out in Iceland. As I say, there wasn't many of them, but they made an incredible amount of noise. So, hopefully there'll be patience. I know there will be. There'll be support for the team, and I know everybody will be giving absolutely everything to progress into the next round, but they're important. The crowd are just as important in terms of patience. We can't win the game in the first 5 minutes. It's going to be over 96 minutes, maybe longer, potentially to a finish. So it's important that everyone stays together and they understand that we're playing a very good side as well.
That's the thing, because European football is a very different environment than what it is when you're playing a domestic game.
Yeah, and that's the challenge and the exciting bit as well. It's different over two legs, first and foremost, how you approach it, the tactical aspect of something that excites me, that I really enjoy. And they're very well coached, fella. You can see when I went to watch them, we're very well coached. We've seen that from the game. So it's certainly no easy task. It's the game's finely balanced.
How impressed have you been with the signings you've made so far this season and the impact they had from that first game, Stephen?
Yeah, I believe that the signings will get better. As I say, we're right at the very start of our season, and it's difficult to replicate that first team match practice. But we've got a lot of boys that have come in, who've done well and hit the ground running. We've got others that I believe will get better with more game time as we go. And ultimately, I believe we set out every window to try and be stronger. And I believe that we are stronger than what we finished last season.
Do you feel that you've perhaps got a bit of a selection headache with some of the changes that you made last week and the impact they had?
Yeah, I've always got. That was the ideal, was to have two in each position. And when everyone's fully fit, we'll have that. And then it's up to me to try and get that right. But if we get any prolonged stay in Europe, it's difficult. You're Thursday, Sunday, the travelling. You have to freshen things up. I don't think you can stick with the same team. Even in league games, when they come thick and fast, we've got a squad that there isn't a whole lot of difference between anybody. So it's up to people to step up and make the position their own, and also accept that I will make changes. I will bring people on and off and freshen the team, because you're being freshened up for a really good player.
You still looking to bring players in before the transfer window closes?
Always looking. Yeah, look, every manager is, isn't it? I'm happy with my squad. If something comes up that we believe will strengthen us in a starting position or push somebody else on, then yeah, we could still be in a position to do that. Obviously tomorrow night would help that. It would be important for the finances as well that we get through. But we're always on the lookout. We're always on the lookout to make the squad better in every single position. But I won't bring players in just to make numbers up. You know, I'd rather make the numbers up, so to speak, with the younger players who are developing all the time here.
You mentioned that. What about last night's win? How pleasing is it for the squad, the growth of the club?
Yeah, we'd actually 6 players playing that would be on the bench in the European games, if not starting. So that is important. I said when I first came in there was a lot of work to do. There's been some fantastic work by Alan McManus and his staff, and the link up now between the first team, but it takes time. You know, everybody wants to see young players in the team, and I'm no different, but they weren't ready when I came in. We're getting there in terms of their strength, their fitness, the understanding, and the quality that we're trying to recruit as opposed to where we were maybe 3-4 years ago.
How do you ask the players to prepare for tomorrow? Do you tell them to go out into Paisley, get the buzz from the fans, from the community today, this afternoon?
Well, no chance they wouldn't get to the game. They'd all be drunk. No chance. They're not going into Paisley, no. My boys will be in Paisley with the fans, I think. So there's going to be a terrific atmosphere. You know, the crowd are marching to the stadium and all that as well. I've seen the boys doing the banners at the stadium when we trained today. So that's fantastic. But the players have to distance themselves a little bit from that in terms of being fully focused. It's a game. It's, you know, we have to approach it, embrace it. It's a big game. We have to go and approach it like it's a normal game.
Who have you got back, Stephen? Was Sean's suspension just one game?
Sean was just one game, yeah. So Sean's available. We've obviously got the longer term injuries with Greg Kilty, Conor McMenamin, Mick Mandron will have a late fitness test. Keelan Boyd Muntz, although it's not as bad as we feared, he'll be missing for tomorrow night.
Have you got a definitive timescale for him?
We're hoping that he could be fit for not Sunday, but potentially the next league game.
Gotcha. You just mentioned league. If you don't mind me asking a question, season this gets underway this weekend. What's your hopes and aspirations for the new campaign?
I think try and be better than last season. You know, I said every year, first and foremost, get enough points to be in the position to be better. You know, you have to secure your position. Dundee United have come up as well. There's a lot of big teams and a lot of expectation in the league now, a lot of money in the league. So it's important we gain the points first of all, hit the ground with momentum. And then you try and aim to be better than what you were every time we come in on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis. We try and progress the football club on and off the football club, on and off the pitch. And we're doing that. You can see a lot of good structures being put in place. We're trying to build ourselves into being a top 6 football club. Some things have been put in place that say that we are. Other things we're still working on, and that takes time and money. And that has to be the ultimate goal, progress the football club and try and be better than what you were.